Welcome to Transforming the Toddler Years, a Core 4 parenting podcast for conscious, cycle-breaking parents ready to turn toddler tantrums into teachable moments. Hi, I'm Cara Tyrrell, a lifetime lover of littles, mom to 2 grown and flown girls, and an early childhood educator. Through the show, I teach you my collaborative parenting methodology for nurturing your little human's mind, body, and spirit. Because how you connect and collaborate in the first 5 years is how you raise happy, healthy kids who grow into the best version of themselves and find true success in school and life. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the show. Today, we're talking about overwhelm because you are either just finishing or very close to your kids finishing their school years. Their preschools will be wrapping up, moving into summer sessions or not, and those kindergartens are coming to a close as well. And overwhelm is what happens at the end of the school year because there's so many events, there's so many final concerts and leadership days and come on in for muffins for mom, and then they try to fit in something for dad for Father's Day before the end of the year, and it's one event after another. And if your kiddo is playing t-ball or some type of little sport as well, you know, that is a whole different schedule of all the time, every day commitments and where you need to be. So I wanted to talk about overwhelm today because energy is what our relationships are built on. And when your energy becomes frenzied and anxious and harried and overwhelmed, well, they absorb that from us. But how can't? So I want to tell you a story today about an experience I had recently with an 8th grader, actually. You know that I work with kids of all ages and teachers who teach kids of all ages. So I was in a school and this 8th grader was just spinning and kind of doing that high speed spewing of information to her friend of why she couldn't get anything done and how much she had to do before the end of the year and all the deadlines and the overwhelm she was feeling, and she just didn't know what to do. And so she just kept spinning and spinning and spinning. Her voice got high. Her breathing got quick. She was really feeling challenged. And I knew I had to shift the energy. I could hear the 2 of them, but they didn't see me in that moment. And so here's what I did. I went and I grabbed a clipboard and a completely blank, unlined piece of paper and a pencil. I just went and sat down in between these 2 girls. And I looked at the one who was having an anxiety-filled moment, and she looked at me and her eyes got really big, and I could tell she expected me to either admonish her, tell her what to do. Why are you here? Aren't you supposed to be in class? Where should you be? What do you need to be doing right now? Because she was just in that actually she was in freeze, fight, flight, freeze. She was in that freeze mode. And instead I just looked at her and I said, "Tell me everything." And she said, "What?" I said, "Tell me everything that's in your brain right now. Everything that's worrying you, everything that's making your body feel the way it's feeling, get it out of your mouth to me right now." And she started talking. And I started writing and not saying a word. And I wrote down every assignment she felt like she was struggling with. I wrote down whatever she said, even if it was, "And when I get home, I have to feed my cat." It's so much jumble going on in that beautiful brain of hers. I just let her go until it was all out. And you know how I knew it was all out? because her energy changed. Her shoulders came down to a normal level. Her breathing was regulated again. Her voice pitch was back where it was supposed to be. And I took a beat and I said, "Is that it?" Yeah, I think it is. Great. Now, let's figure it out. And together, we pulled out the stuff that seemed like the highest priorities. We put to the side the things that could wait. Then we looked at the high priority list and we picked the one thing that she could do in that next period. One. And she felt capable of doing it. I made her a trademark. It's not trademarked, but it's something that's incredibly helpful for me. I made her a prioritized list with check boxes. Oh, she says, "I love check boxes." I said, "Me too. Boy, they really help us feel like we get things done, don't they?" I gave it to her and off she went. Oh, I did one other thing, actually. I found her a quiet, independent space to work away from everybody else. Because I knew if she went back to a classroom that was loud and overwhelming, her overwhelm would likely just return. And we had just found that little spot of, I think I might be able to do this. About a half an hour later, she pops her head into where I was working and said to me, "I feel so much better. Thank you." And my heart melted. But more than that, I felt really good for this kiddo who had managed to come out the other side. So the point of this story today is twofold. Remember that you are capable of doing this for yourself. If you find yourself spinning, you can't make your next decision, you've got too many places to be at once, you've got to cook the muffins and bake the brownies for the sale, you've got to make sure you pick up the recital dress, you've got to make sure that you're on time for the PTA meeting. If you've got too much going on, you can't change those things out of, well, I guess you could remove yourself from some of those responsibilities. But if that's just what it is, do this for yourself. And if you can't do it for yourself, ask a trusted partner, friend, coworker to help you with it. To get a clipboard with a blank piece of paper and just ask you, tell me everything. And don't stop until I have regained my calm, and then we'll figure it out. Even better, and this is a vulnerable challenge, but I'm going to challenge you to do it. Do it in front of your kids. You are not superhuman. None of us are. You are an energetic being existing in this really finite, challenging physical world, and so are your children. And you know and respect and observe that about them. Let them know, respect, and observe that about you. Do this in front of them. Model it. You are the model for how they regulate. So this is the best co-regulation modeling experience you could ever give them. I am so overwhelmed right now. I just don't even know what to do next. You know what I'm going to do? Stop. And I'm just going to say everything out loud. If that's what you choose to do, first of all, congratulations. That's amazing stuff. That level of self-awareness. Just open your phone and do the voice memo instead. If you're doing this and you're modeling for your kids, and let it all out. And then finish by saying, I cannot do all these things at once. the next thing that I will do, the one next thing will be, and choose one. Oh, what a gift you just gave yourself and your kids. It's not easy being on stage all the time. And that's essentially what it is. When we are conscious parenting, when we are collaboratively parenting, we're always knowing that our words, our choices, our next steps are the way that our kids believe that human beings speak and interact with each other and interact with the world. And so, well done. Well done for being you and knowing that by bettering yourself, you're raising a child who can do better. I would be so grateful if you could scroll all the way down to the bottom of this episode, rate and review our show. It's how more parents get exposed to the show, and the more people that we have on this conscious and collaborative parenting journey, the more impact that we're going to make as we raise this next generation. Until our next episode, stay mindful and proactive as we transform the toddler years.